It feels like a miracle, like it's everything we have prayed for.
Now at 6, the news the Petrov family thought they would never hear.
After 6 weeks and multiple arrests, 15-year-old Alisa has been found safe.
But difficult questions remain. How did Alisa get to Colorado? Was she held against her will? I have the latest from Colorado Springs Police.
Plus, I spoke with Alisa's aunt, what it was like to get that phone call that she was safe, and the answers she still wants.
This was just incredible, the best news ever.
2 News at 6 starts now.
Live, streaming, and on the KUTV app. This is KUTV 2 News at 6.
Thanks for watching 2 News at 6 tonight. More than a month after she disappeared, police in Colorado say they have found 15-year-old Alisa Petrov.
The South Jordan teen turned herself into a police station in Colorado Springs. It's more than 500 miles away from where she was last seen. We still don't know how she got to Colorado or if at any point she was held against her will. The circumstances surrounding her return are unclear. Until now, Alisa was last seen on security video leaving a train platform in Provo.
Now, we do have team coverage of every aspect of this story for you today. We're talking to police and also people in Alisa's neighborhood.
We're also looking at the suspects in her disappearance. Brian Cheney is first tonight with more on how the Petrov family is feeling right now. I'm sure huge relief.
An obvious sense of relief tonight for Alisa Petrov's family. Her father messaged me last night at about 10:30 saying that Alisa was located. I spoke to Alisa's aunt earlier today, the same member of her family that I caught up with more than a month ago after she learned the news that Alisa Petrov had been located last night. How did you find out that Alisa had been located?
My brother called me yesterday night and said that the police contacted him and said that Alisa was found.
What was it like for you to get that phone call after all this time?
Oh, this was just incredible, the best news ever. We were all so happy. I immediately told everybody that Alisa has been found. I know my children were extremely happy that this happened. Everybody just reacted so quickly, and it was incredible.
How do you describe the emotional roller coaster over the last 6 weeks for you and your family?
This was very stressful to go through, and I am extremely grateful for the community support that we've received. It was really great to see that people cared so much, and everybody wanted to help us find Alisa. We're so extremely grateful for everyone who prayed for her.
Alisa's parents are in Colorado right now. We just traded messages a few minutes ago. Her dad telling me they have not reached her just yet, but some sense of relief here, at least knowing the whereabouts of their daughter after nearly 6 weeks. Now, Alisa is one of thousands that the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children work with each day. All those cases end up coming to them. Leslie Duarte spoke to the center about how they work to help solve some of these cases. She joins us live tonight in Utah County. Leslie?
Brian, I'm at the train station in Provo where Alisa was last seen back in April. Tonight, she'll be reunited with her family.
One of the most visible resources that we have is the poster.
Early on, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children shared Alisa's photo on their database. And while it is unclear how much the organization's poster played a role in finding Alisa,
what we really try to do is, utilize our posters, again, being the most visible resource, getting that image of the child out there. News stories, such as this one, are very helpful and crucial in order to, spread the word.
In 2024, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children assisted law enforcement with over 29,000 cases of missing children and helped bring 91% of them home. So how do national agencies assist in finding missing children? According to former FBI agent Greg Rice, involvement from the FBI depends on a case-by-case scenario.
And it has to meet a federal statute. That really is where the FBI then has jurisdiction to get involved. Being trafficked across state lines, being kidnapped against one's will, and taken to another state.
What kind of resources can the FBI provide a local police department?
The FBI can engage resources in a sense of flyers, notifying other departments notifying other FBI offices.
Other posters of missing children can be found on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Live in Provo, Leslie Duarte, KUTV 2 News.
All right, Leslie, thanks. And in addition to South Jordan Police, in Harriman, Texas, and Florida, also all involved in this case. You can see on the map how this stretched across the country. Those are the cities where the suspects have ties.
Police in Colorado Springs are investigating as well, and that's where officers found 15-year-old Alisa Petrov last night. Jim Spiewak on the live desk with what they're saying.
Heidi and Mark, the Colorado Springs Police Department not saying much tonight about Alisa Petrov in this case. We did send the department early today a list of questions asking how exactly did she find police, what her condition was, and if they have anyone in custody. All the department would say is that she turned herself in to the Stetson Hills station last night and that she is safe. Colorado Springs police say that they are working with the South Jordan Police Department back here in Utah to ensure she is returned safely. The Colorado Police Department says that any updates going forward will have to come from the South Jordan Police Department.
Jim, thank you. We're back out here live in South Jordan tonight. So Alisa Petrov is safe, but there are still a lot of questions surrounding her disappearance. Kristen McPeak has been speaking with South Jordan Police today, trying to get an update and some additional information. What have they been saying to you today, Kristen?
Well, I've been speaking with police all day, and they say they can't release any more information due to their policy in providing information related to a juvenile. And so during this investigation, police have been communicating with us through press releases. Alisa was missing in April. She was found in Colorado Springs 6 weeks after that disappearance. And police say that she turned herself into the police department there. And officials reported that girl as safe and in good health. No word on how she got there. So I also requested to speak with the mayor of South Jordan. This has been a national case with people watching it from all across the country. I was referred back to the police department. Live in South Jordan, Kristen McPeak, KUTV 2 News.
All right, Kristen, thank you very much. There are 3 men that have been arrested in connection to Alisa Petrov's disappearance. Various levels of involvement, speaking with her online before she left her home and ultimately left her school on April 21st. One of those men had one of his initial appearances today in court and now has another scheduled appearance coming up next week. Chief investigative reporter Wendy Halloran joining us live in studio tonight with a look at the others that are involved in this case.
Well, Brian, 35-year-old Matthew Nicholas Menard of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, appeared virtually in court today from the Utah County Jail. Records show he was booked around 9 a.m. this morning. A bail hearing is set for next Monday at 1 p.m. Now, a few weeks ago, he surrendered to South Jordan Police. Documents show Menard communicated with Petrov before she left school on April 21st. Now, the contents of his communication is extremely sexually explicit with what Menard wants her to do to him and with him, even including a prostitute. He is facing 2 first-degree felony charges of aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, misdemeanor charges of enticement of a minor, and criminal solicitation. Now let's move on. 41-year-old Samuel Mitchell from Harriman was taken into custody last Wednesday. Authorities found several sexually explicit photos and videos of underage girls on his phone. A review of Petrov's iPad revealed sexually explicit conversations between her and Mitchell on the Discord app. Police say Mitchell had planned to meet with Petrov before he got sick and canceled. Mitchell is in the Salt Lake County Metro Jail facing several felony charges, including sexual exploitation of a minor. He has his initial appearance scheduled for Wednesday at 10 a.m. Now, 37-year-old William Glines of Texas City in the Galveston area of Texas is also under arrest. He's facing the same charges as the man from Florida. He has a significant criminal record, including assault, multiple DUI arrests, and drugs while in prison. South Jordan investigators have been working with law enforcement in both Texas and Florida. Now, the Attorney General is asking for no bail on Menard, the one from Florida. They're also demanding he forfeit his rights to all of the electronic devices and other items seized connected to the case. Brian?
Wendy, thank you very much. An overwhelming sense of relief for the community here in South Jordan tonight that never stopped hoping and praying for Alisa's safe return. Ariel Harrison reporting after speaking with neighbors and how they're responding to the latest news that Alisa Petrov has been found. She joins us live tonight. Ariel?
Yes, Brian, just to reiterate, there is a huge sense of relief for people in this South Jordan community where Alisa lives, who tell me that they have been praying daily on behalf of advocating for her safe return and supporting her parents. We learned a little bit more about that today, but a woman I met, her name is Melanie Jones. She lives near Alisa's family and knows the young girl and her parents very well. She says the past 6 months have just been heartbreaking for everyone here. Ever since, she says, Alisa's disappeared, Jones says the community has rallied behind this family. They helped post flyers, checking in on the family and with them, and most importantly, never losing faith, including Alisa's parents.
I got a text last night from some other people in the neighborhood, and it feels like a miracle. Like, it's everything we have prayed for.
You said it was inspiring to see her parents navigate this.
Yes, I think this is every parent's worst nightmare, honestly. And they just dug in and did what they needed to do, tried to maintain a positive attitude.
Now, Melanie did share with me she has lived in this neighborhood, this community, for the past 25 years and is still struggling to wrap her head around the circumstances of this case. She hopes it does prompt all families in Utah to have a serious discussion when it comes to kids and internet safety in their homes. She says it is now time for this family to move towards healing once Alisa is able to get home and reunited with her family. Reporting live in South Jordan, Ariel Harrison, KUTV 2 News.
Whole lot of unconditional
All right, Ariel,
love for
thank
them.
you very much. Ariel, thank you very much. Again, Alisa's parents are in Colorado tonight, and the aunt you just heard from a few moments ago will be heading out there to reunite with Alisa as well. Mark and Heidi, back inside to you.
Brian, thank you. We're not done yet. We've been talking to 15-year-old Alisa Petrov's dad since she disappeared 6 weeks ago. So what is he saying now?
We are a state divided, clear and cooler today in northern Utah, but definitely cooler down south where I'm tracking scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'll let you know where the rain is going for tonight and what you can expect for the rest of the week coming up in my first alert forecast.
Welcome back. Reporting live from South Jordan tonight, I'm Brian Schnee. 15-year-old Alisa Petrov has been located out of the state of Utah when she walked into a police department substation in Colorado Springs last night. Around 10:30 last night, Alisa's father, Nikolai, sent me a message saying that Alisa had been located, and he told me, quote, "I was already imagining the worst." I spoke with Nikolai late last week while everyone was still searching for Alisa. Take a listen.
You feel like she could show up at the door one of these days?
If she does it, it would be the happiest day of my life.
So still the happiest day, but not showing up at the front door. Instead, Alisa's parents going to Colorado to reunite with her. We've talked a lot about Alisa Petrov's disappearance on Utah's Missing, which you can watch Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock as part of our Arc Salt Lake program. If you join us tonight at 7, we'll also be going in depth on this case. So if you've been paying attention to this case and some of our coverage here, you can join us tonight at 7. And also stay tuned Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock for all the latest and new information on missing persons cases here in Utah. Reporting live in South Jordan, Brian Schnee, KUTV 2 News.
Brian, thank you. Such a relief for this family. You can stay up to date on Alisa Petrov's reunion with her family. It's on our website, KUTV.com, and also on the 2 News mobile app.
All right, Chase, you mentioned it. We're a state divided today, kind of. We got some moisture down in southern Utah and kind of nice here.
At least we cooled off a little bit. It'd be
nice
to get some rain up in northern Utah, but we're about 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. Yesterday, record high, 96 degrees, 81, which is still 2 degrees above normal, but I think you're going to love tomorrow as we could cool another 5 degrees or so. Wind speeds are out of the northwest, ushering in that slightly cooler air mass. And you'll see down in southern Utah where we've had a lot of cloud cover and some rain-cooled air, hasn't been widespread. Haven't had a whole lot in Cedar City, east side of St. George, about a ½ inch of rain. But take a look what it's done to those temperatures. We're about 20 degrees cooler at this time compared to yesterday. So that is good news because it was getting a little too hot too soon. Right now, though, St. George, you're quiet, but there's some light rain to your north, and we'll be watching for this cluster to see if it could be rolling back into St. George for tonight. So we're not out of the woods yet. More rain is possible. A few showers and storms, though, around Kanab, about a quarter-inch of rain. We could be adding to your rain totals with that little cluster with some lightning and some gusty winds. A few light showers across southeastern Utah. It's all associated with this storm system. It's been tapping into some tropical moisture. Remember, we talked about Tropical Storm Alvin. However, the main part of the storm is pushing now into Colorado, and drier air has moved into northern Utah, so no rain for us. We're not done yet because another little storm is going to be rolling in by Wednesday, and again, mainly impacting areas of southern Utah. You'll see this on Future Track. So this is 8 o'clock this evening. We are in the clear here in northern Utah, but still some cloud cover to the south. A few showers are possible across southwestern Utah and maybe a light shower in southeastern Utah. Notice by midnight, though, the rain ends and skies will clear. Tomorrow morning will be beautiful statewide. If you're at any of those state and national parks, hike in the morning. It's cooler and the risk for flash flooding is a bit lower. But by the afternoon, there might be a stray thunderstorm. I think by Wednesday, though, we'll probably see a little bit more activity as that storm gets closer to Utah with more rain towards Beaver, Cedar, and St. George. A few showers are possible in south central and eastern Utah, mainly near and south of I-70 with this setup on Wednesday, especially in the afternoon and evening. You'll probably get about a tenth of an inch to maybe a half inch of rain across portions of southern Utah into Wednesday. But no rain in northern Utah. We'll be in the 90s in St. George, though, for one more day, and then we're in the 80s. That's well below normal. Wednesday and Thursday. Could still see a stray storm on Thursday, but rain chances at 20%. Gets hot again beginning on Sunday. We're back into the triple digits. In northern Utah, very sunny, really comfortable weather. Afternoon highs in the 70s, below normal, lows in the 50s. But then we're back into the 80s, and a little bit of moisture could sneak into northern Utah on Friday, so I've added a slight chance for a pop-up thunderstorm. Then temperatures get hot in northern Utah. By Sunday, we're in the 90s.
We continue with our coverage of Alisa Petrov, found safe last night in Colorado Springs. Joining us live right now is Chris Bertram to talk to us a little bit about what's happening now behind the scenes with the investigation. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks to be here.
So right now, the last thing we've heard from the family is that they're traveling to Colorado Springs. We don't know if they're driving or flying, but as last checked just a few minutes ago, they hadn't been reunited. Does that surprise you, how this is working out?
Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't been in contact with her. Maybe their flights were delayed or they were, in fact, driving over, which is probably an 8 to 9 hour drive. But, typically when you find, somebody, you want to get them back with family. Since it was late last night, I imagine that this morning they would have been flying out, making contact midday, and then potentially flying back tonight and being back in Utah.
Right now, I think there's a lot of questions about what have happened in the last 6 weeks. The last time she was seen was in Provo on the track station there. Colorado Springs is more than 500 miles away. She's just 15 years old. How did she get there? What has she been doing all this time? And could she possibly have been held against her will? What's happening with the investigation right now that we're not seeing or hearing about?
They're definitely going to be determining if this was voluntary or involuntary. Both directions are going to have to be investigated because we want to know, from a law enforcement standpoint, where she went from Utah, where she went then after that, then what happened, and how did she end up in Colorado Springs. If it's involuntary, it makes the investigation even more important because we want to identify who may be involved in that and make sure that we get them in custody as quickly as possible so we have no other victims. And so, again, both investigations are complex. Even if this is voluntary, we want to know who she was with, where she went. Was she the victim of a crime while she was there? And then what led her to Colorado Springs?
I would assume, too, that if she weren't surviving on her own and sleeping at a park, that if she were with someone at their house, having a minor child, there's got to be some kind of crime involved there.
Quite possibly. But again, thinking that this is a 15-year-old who, may be able to convince adults of a reasonable story, they may be unwitting in those cases. And so they may be just offering, help, to a young child as they're moving around. However, if they became aware of who she was and the status of what was going on, that would be then a crime at that point.
We do know connected to this case, 3 men, one from Utah, another from Texas, and one from Florida, are charged in this case. I noticed that Matthew Menard from Miami, Florida, turned himself into the South Jordan City Police Department on the charges that he's facing. But he's now in the Utah County Jail. Is there a reason why that would be happening, where maybe they're trying to keep him separate from the other suspect that might be in Salt Lake County, or is this just something random?
No, two reasons. Jurisdiction, they may have, based on her contact while she was in Utah County, decided that that's the court of jurisdiction. At the same time, we do have multiple suspects that are going to be in Utah, and you don't necessarily want to keep them in the same county jails. And so a lot of times they're located somewhere else so that they're not in contact with each other.
Chris Bertram, thank you so much for your insight answering these questions. I'm sure we'll be talking in the days to come.
Thank you.
All right, you can watch all these stories again, along with more in-depth coverage, including some of the raw interviews, over on the 2 News YouTube page. Just scan the QR code on your screen, and it will take you there. If we get any new information about this case and whether or not she's been reunited with her parents, we'll have it for you right here. And don't forget Brian Schnee on ARC tonight talking about this exact story. See you in a bit.